Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that was forwarded to me. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message, it reads like this. I really hate Easter because Easter, it reminds me that is the time when I sacrificed my mother, which was in the year 2012, and I had came to South Africa in the year 2008 from Nigeria, and I was forced to work for a gang that I had joined. I had joined this gang not because I liked being a gang member, but because of the peer pressure and wanting to protect myself as a child that was bullied from high school. When I was at university, I joined that gang for protection back in Lagos. I came to South Africa as a refugee, but the gang located me through their associate South African gang, where I was forced to make your drugs like meth and other substances. I was arrested in a raid which happened at our flat and was released, and I was introduced to a voodoo priest. This was done for protection, and in 2012, that was when I became the full member of an occultic club. And my mom, she passed away on the 8th of April 2012. I can't forget that day, no matter what, because April, whenever it comes around the corner, when people will be celebrating their Easter, it reminds me of the sacrifice that I did when my mother passed away back home in Nigeria, whilst we held a satanic ritual here in South Africa. I really do not celebrate Easter. I am a Christian. I do go to church because that is what our mom taught us when she was still alive. My father as well was a Christian man, a strong Christian man. I do go to church, but whenever it is Easter, I always make sure that I do not go to church. I do not like to join in celebrations because Easter is the time when my hands were stained with blood, the blood of the woman who gave me life, and I am carrying a burden in my heart, so much that I wish that one day death will come my way and death will just take me. Me dying, I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a way of being free from the shackles of the devil, free, and I will be set free. Even if I go to hell, at least it will be so much better, because the torment, the demonic possessions that I am suffering from in this world, I don't think that I'll ever suffer like that when I am in hell. It was in the year 2005 when I was a young man. I had enrolled at a university in Lagos. I really wanted to do something to change my family's life. My mom, she sold food at a market, whilst my father, he was a drunkard and he would drink away whatever little money that he had. Life at the university was not what I had expected as a poor kid. I was then introduced to a group of older students, and some of them, they had money, some of them, they had cars. So they were a part of a secret gang, introduced to that gang because of the bullying that was taking place. One guy told me that if I wanted to be safe, I could be safe with his gang. At first, it was just small things at university, stealing exam papers, intimidating professors, and helping some of these professors to get even underage girls to sleep with them and to transport small packages. Then it became something else. One night, I was taken to a bush whereby they beat me, poured me animal blood, and made me to swear into something that I could not even understand, which was spiritual. As a Christian, I did not want to blaspheme the name of the Holy Spirit, even though they forced me. They beat me so hard until they left me to be fully part of the gang. They want you to blaspheme the name of the Holy Spirit, but I did that when I came to South Africa with the promise of becoming rich that I had to do because of the situation that I was facing at that time. Unfortunately, I don't know if grace will ever locate me. I go to church, I cry, but people do not know that I cry because I blasphemed the Holy Spirit. And when they saw that I had refused to blaspheme the name of the Holy Spirit. They poured animal blood on me and they left me alone in the bush, and I had bruises all over. By 2008, that was when I came to South Africa more like a refugee, and I told myself that I will start a new life, but the past did not let go so easily. I did not even know that this gang had a strong network through their associates, some South Africans. They found me. One day I was cornered when I had gone to visit my friend in Hillbrow by some South African guys that I did not recognize, and then they took me to another house, which was a drug house. They forced me, but now it was the Nigerians that were making meth and other drugs in a flat in Johannesburg. I became more like a slave to them. It is not each and every person that is Nigerian that is doing drugs simply because they want to. Some of them, they are victims and they can't escape. So I was living in fear every day. Then it was in the year 2011. The police raided our flat. I was arrested. Before anything, that was when we had that our gang had hired a lawyer, and that lawyer got me released. It was on bail, but we had to move very fast. After my release, they drove with me to a powerful juju man from Ghana who was in Port Elizabeth, for the gang wanted me to be protected. They performed rituals on me before we could return back to court, gave me charms to make me more invisible to the judge, more innocent to him, and as for those charms, they worked. And it was on the 8th of April 2012. It was during the night I was taken to a gathering in a mansion at Pretoria, where we were told that we were going to be initiated so that we can be brought into the inner fold of the gang. When they say that the inner fold of the gang, there are those that only knows that the gang deals in drugs and other illegal activities. But those that were in the inner fold knows that what really pushes the gang, it is not only pushing the drugs, but each and every place where people are drug addicts, it means that there are spirits that are opened up, like opening portals to demonic activities. That is the purpose of those that push for drugs, those that you will never see being mentioned as drug dealers, the ones that are occultic. They love it when in a community there is drug peddling that takes place, because it becomes a hive for demonic activities. And they work hand in hand with other occultic groups that do not even deal, that are far from the dealings of drug trafficking and whatnot, because soon after drugs, prostitution, which brings in more demons into that community. So I was brought into the inner fold, and a chicken was slaughtered, and I was told to rub my hands with the blood of that chicken. I even felt my soul leaving my body exactly at midnight. That was when the priest said, "It is done." For it was done. My mom back in Nigeria had passed away. It was a sudden illness, and the spirit of death struck her down. I had killed my own mother. After my mother's death, life continued as normal, but each and every year, whenever April is around the corner, I feel so bad when I remember the things that I did. Now I am 40 years old. I am living comfortably. I have one child with a South African woman, an innocent Christian woman who does not know that this is what I did. I am not filthy rich, but I am doing okay. I hate the things that I did, but when I look at my son, when I look at the woman that gave me this child, we are not staying together, even though we are legally married. We have our own reasons, but I feel like I did this sacrifice for them so that they can live a comfortable life. I can even go to church whilst I am drunk, not because I am a bad person, but because I'll be thinking of the way that they made me to blaspheme the Holy Spirit on that night when we slaughtered my mom by using that chicken. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. He's saying that when you are part of that gang, on the night of the initiation, they force you to blaspheme the Holy Spirit? And is it true that in an area, a community where there is prostitution and drug dealing, then demons will be operating there? Is it true or not?